certain concepts would not even make sense. For a person who didn't love their child, who didn't care, and say, well, chalked it up for their own child that was in the well, somebody will come to them and say, you know, you might try this to say your will. Oh, the hell with that damn baby. You get the point I'm making? They could come to them with different strategies to say, well, maybe if you reach a rope or take your clothes and tie them all together and throw them down in the well, and maybe you can pull yourself down and pull your child up. A person who don't care about their child is going to be like, the hell with that child. I'll have another one. You know what I'm saying? Who cares about children? So they're not even open-minded. Not because the strategy is inefficient. Because you can't know something is inefficient until you tried it. That's the only scientific evidence that something will not work, is that you tried it to its fullest methodology. And then when you got to the fullest methodology of it, you saw that it did not work. So you can't see if something worked that you're not going to put into effect. But the mere love would make you try any strategy that was put forth before you to work it to its end. To say, well, I guess it didn't work. I'll try something else. So these people who begin to discredit strategy, like they're supreme intellectual thinkers, and they're very sophisticated and philosophical, they reject the strategy of nation building and revolution. Those people don't care. Because you cannot reject something that you have not tried. You have not put any effort into. It's only a guesstimation. It's only assumption. Because the things that we are doing as nation building, nobody has ever done them before. So what strategy applies? What type of thinking can you apply to something man has never done before? None. The only thing that could stop them or hinder them is the fact that they really do not care. And they are more overjoyed and more happy with the experience of white supremacy and imperialism than they are moved by the transformation of their people into a higher state and a higher condition. This is the only reality that we can see. This is the only thinking that we can apply to that. You cannot give up on something that you have even yet to try, that you have yet to push to its max. So it's only after those people, only can those people be considered strategists or strategize or real thinkers who will get on board to push each strategy and methodology to an exhausted state, to the end, to the finality. If they have no desire to push the methodology to its finality, then they have no evidence of that it's not going to work. And their unwillingness to do that is enough evidence for us to see that they probably really don't even care. Because they go and work for European corporations, and one of them go bankrupt. But they don't give up on white supremacy. They say, well, that corporation just fell, right? I'll get me another job with another devil. And then they get fired from that job. They don't give up on jobs in general, do they? They just go somewhere else and get another job. Because they have that much determination to see victory and success within a failing Eurocentric society. Thousands of people laid off from their jobs, they're going to go and look for more jobs when they can look on the news and see that this economy is moving downward and is constantly falling. But the love of the devil will make them go work for another job and get laid off from another one. But then you go to those same people and talk about black supremacy and nationalism, they'll say, I don't know if it's going to work. You don't know if the damn devil is going to work. You get up there and hear Barack Obama speak, and he don't even know if this shit going to work. I'm going to try, and we're going to see, and I really don't know. I can't say anything for certain, but they believe in that. But black nationalists come to them that is completely, absolutely, 100% secure, and then they Willie Lynch chips get activated and say, well, I don't think that's going to work. And it's not based upon any evidence. So we have to see, it ain't just for them, we must see that this position that they are presenting to us is not based on reality. We argue with them like it's realistic, like, well, this is what Garvey did, and this is what Huey P. Newton did. This is what Nat Turner did, and this is what Shaka Zulu did, and Susana Lovicher did, and Patrice Lumumba did. We argue with them making rational, intellectual, philosophical, scholarly thoughts. We argue with them, not realizing that their position is not based upon anything intellectual. It's based upon heartlessness, apathy, lack of concern, and utter belief in their enemy and in their oppressor. So out of that, we can't get caught up into them. We must begin to put more of our energy towards the exemplification and the manifestation of that which they will not align up with. We must work harder to be diligent examples of a succeeding entity, of a succeeding idea, of a succeeding nation. We must become that. We cannot get caught up into their heartless position. There's no way we can persuade them in their state of heartlessness. They appear as though they have, well, it's just a good position. I've thought about this and it looks like the white man's doing more for me. You ain't thought about a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not based on thought. It's not based on intellect. It's based on the absence of that and the complete, utter belief in your enemy and in your oppressor. So as revolutionaries, we must now go to people and start to invoke compassion out of them. Because the compassion drives us. When I say compassion, I mean you got to really ask him, do you love and really care about your people? Are you concerned with the future of your race? We got to start moving that compassion. Are you concerned with the people in your community that are dying because you are neglecting your duty as a god? You are neglecting your duty as a goddess, as a warrior. You are neglecting your responsibility to build for your own people. We must now move them emotionally. We must begin to move their hearts because their minds is not where they're operating out of. Their minds is not going to get them there. Their minds is not going to evolve them. It's when they awaken their heart to the reality of the situation. Some people look at the red, black, and green flag and see a historical concept. Well, that's a flag of our history and of this, that, and other. Somebody see the flag and their heart pumps just off the seeing the red, black, and green flag. The colors move their vibration. The colors move their energy and their frequency just off looking at it. That's a whole different type of person. They're driven by their ancestral energy and forces that lie within their being. They're driven by a sense of purpose and a true connectedness to their people. Everybody's not moving like that. So now we have to get to that place with them. Because intellect is not going to bring out their superhuman capabilities. Their heart can elevate their intellect, but their intellect will never, ever bring their heart into manifestation. Purely alone. So we have to now come at this whole thing from a different perspective. Because I can watch 50,000 DVDs and I can read 800 more books. But that's not what had me on the path of nation building. What had me on the path of nation building is my very heart is centered in the transformation of the condition of our people. And I will allow my mind to evolve. I will allow my body to evolve. Physically, build myself up. Mentally, develop my mind, develop my skills, develop my consciousness. But it is the heart that centers it. Do you all see the point I'm making? You can go into an infirmary full of sick people and you don't know anything about healing. But if you have the heart, you will now have started the process of becoming a true healer. Because if you care, the knowledge will reveal itself to you. If you have a real concern and a real heart, you'll find the information relative to how much you care. I cared about my mother when I originally became an herbalist. I was concerned about her health. And it was my concern for her that drove me to crack open these health books and to study this health information and then go into the hospital and challenge these medical fools. It was my heart that drove me and it allowed my intellect to develop in the most highest, truest, sincere way. Because if the heart is developed, it's undeveloped, everything else is insincere. Every other act is based on insincerity.